Because it is 7:30. And then we have to wait 15 seconds before we curse.
15.
Apparently it's 15 seconds. I've been doing it in the first minute because, you know, but apparently there's a whole big thing about YouTube being run by idiots. Which, me saying that within the first 15 seconds may get me demonetized anyway. Especially since that's the email that we're live, so...
But you weren't saying that they are. You're saying that there was this conversation happening.
Yes. You know, YouTube lawyers, I didn't say that. Greetings! Stay a while and listen. As we sit here and eat out the clock for the first minute so we can talk about...
the things we've been talking about just before the stream started, which includes, you know, banks being weird about potential fraud and elective reproductive surgeries.
Did you ever watch the Adventures of Flapjack on Cartoon Network?
No.
There was a guy there. He ran the candy store.
Thanks for that, Barbara.
And he was the barber and the dentist and the surgeon. And he'd always walk up and, you look like you could use some surgery. And Phil just loved that.
Phil would love that.
Right?
That sounds right in his wheelhouse.
Right? I mean, that whole show was just a fever dream, but just for years, there would be, you look like you could use some surgery. All right. I was going to say, why is it not?
Speaking of fever dreams, I need to get you to finish watching Oddballs.
Yes. Hi, Rowan. I'm over here. Yeah, I got to watch Oddballs. Don't know when, you know, Netflix is going to cancel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Inside Job.
I am actually, like, kind of in this weird in-between growing it out, whatever, and trying to make it look somewhat intentional. But I'm probably giving myself a haircut tomorrow. Keeping the top, but, like, I need to fade my sides. At least towards the bottom.
Lay down. There you go. No, you just got back up. All right, you can stay there. What, you're having this look at me when the audience can't see you.
Yeah, that's really rude. You should be in visual range when you make sight gags.
Yeah, come here.
That's kind of the whole thing.
Oh, the Void Cat in the morning.
Hey, Bubba. He's been downstairs snuggling with me the last couple of nights. Which is weird, because he hadn't been down there in weeks. Weeks and weeks.
Hi, what are you doing? How about you say hi to the internet, like the Void Cat you are?
I don't have a hair appointment in exactly a week, but
good
for you.
I need a hair appointment. Mine's getting long enough to where I can pull it back again, which means it's getting a little too long.
I have another PT appointment in exactly a week, so, there's that.
In a week, I have a just a heads up, next Wednesday, I'm going to go ahead and say there's not going to be a live stream. I am not going to have the energy for that. I've got a 12-hour series of driving next Wednesday. So, no stream next week, but I will post about it in the Discord just to remind people.
Unless I just come in here and totally hijack shit without telling him.
You know, if you want to, I can show you how. If you want to be like, hi, Rowan.
I need to make a dentist appointment. I do not want to, but I need to. It's been a minute.
No, I gotta search the dead bodies to get some potions. Good luck on the hell that. I mean, it's hopefully going to be worth it. Hopefully.
Don't be a weenie. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I
mean, I can. I don't want to. That is the That is a thing. Like,
If I can do it and find some joys along the way, then I believe you can too. Just
well, I mean, I told you. So I'm driving to Tennessee because I'm looking at picking up another car because my Firebird, which is my pride and joy, has a leak, and no body shop in the area will even take a look at it. So I'm just gonna give up and cut my losses and get another one that hopefully does not have a leak. So I told Jess this. Amber was asking about, picking up, getting some food while we're there, and we're going to this middle of nowhere town. The fanciest restaurant is a Shoney's.
hey, don't knock on the Shoney's.
I love, I can't say I love Shoney's because the last time I ate at Shoney's, I'm pretty sure I was like 8 years old because I'm pretty sure that was when the last one that was around closed.
I think I ate one 10 years ago. There was still one open in Louisville.
It's like, it was the one that Pat worked at in West Virginia. Like, that was... No, it couldn't have been when we were, because, obviously Pat worked there, so it had to have been when I was in high school. But I don't think I actually managed to eat there after we moved from West Virginia. I don't think any of the times we went back, we ever ate there.
I'm sure the salad bar missed you.
I am sure.
I'm sure it misses me. I can get down on the Shoney's salad bar.
I just keep thinking about the Rick and Morty bit with Nathan Fillion, and it's like, no wonder why you chose a place like Shoney's. It's so safe, so welcoming, so Shoney's.
I mean, it really is though.
I want a voice clip of Nathan Fillion saying, that's my text message noise, so Shoney's. Son, why are you, no, you were doing fine. You were doing fine right here. Sit here and let the internet say hi to you.
So chunky. So chunky boy.
I need to get back to the dentist because I have another cavity. This one requires my wisdom teeth to be removed. My insurance is taking forever to update my benefits.
Oh, that sucks. I had my wisdom teeth removed. And a couple more molars 2 years ago? Yeah, it was 2 years ago. And man, I was so high. There's a street around here called Pettigrew, and apparently I kept talking about how it was named after me because I'm petty.
Yeah, you were.
I don't know. I remember seeing Dr. Russell and him kind of laughing at me. And then I remember walking in the house and immediately going to bed.
So I've probably told this story several times on the stream. What did you just eat, son? You just ate something.
It might have been his own hair for all we know.
Possibly. When I had my wisdom teeth removed, I was fine, except for the fact that after the procedure, a nurse and my mom had to drag me out to the car because I couldn't stand or walk under my own power. And I remember being mad about it, that they were helping me. Except I don't really remember this. It's just one of those vague, but I was told that apparently I could walk my own damn self to the car as they were dragging my feet on the, my feet were dragging on the pavement as my arms were wrapped around their shoulder, but I was like, I can walk my own damn self. Mom's like, oh yes, you are gonna be interesting when you have alcohol. Good boy.
I have to say, I like whatever they knocked me out with for the colonoscopy way better because I woke up and there was no lag. I was awake and conscious and able to make decisions, and I was fine. I like that way better.
When I had my endoscopy, I thought I was awake. And I thought I was of rational, sound mind for the day. But, apparently not, because there was a whole section of the day that I don't remember, in which we went to Panera to get sandwiches, and I told the lady that, you know, it's okay to be out of bread. And I called my parents to tell them that I was okay and it went well. And it wasn't until like 7 o'clock that night that I asked if I called my parents that, you know, Libet just lost her shit. She's like, yes, you called them. Like, I'm sitting on the couch across from her, and she's just like, yeah, you called them, like, 10 hours ago.
Yeah, no, I woke up and walked out to the waiting, well, signed whatever papers I needed to, walked out to the waiting room, found Libet, and was like, okay, I need Cracker Barrel. I haven't eaten in like 3 days. I need Cracker Barrel right now.
The code is deciphered. Come over here, because there's a little glowy treasure. Look at the little glowy treasure chest in the pre-rendered backgrounds.
I need to go ahead and make my own chicken and dumplings soon, because the last time I got it from Cracker Barrel was a little disappointing.
The last couple of times we've ordered from Cracker Barrel was a little disappointing. Yeah, the part where you're leaving us, you tried to call them 2 other times before that. Okay, so that I don't remember. I just remembered that I called them, and then a couple of hours, oh, I should call them.
It's like Groundhog Day, but only like 3 hours,
Yeah.
just looping. Which I have an eye exam on Groundhog Day. Woo!
I have a civil service test on Saturday. That's an odd day to have a civil service test. Normally, everything civil service related is not open on weekends. So it's impressive that they scheduled it then. At least anything around here. You know, I don't know if other people live in places that...
You know, down here in the South, we have specific ways of doing things.
I thought it was just because I kept asking about it as the day wore on.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck, Pen. I hope it goes well. You'll do great. I got a battery today, or a battery replacement kit for my iWatch that I need to sit down and deal with. That might happen tomorrow. But I pulled out, you know, I was opening the box trying to make sure everything was in there. And they had like this little instruction sheet, like a little quick guide. And at the top, it said, "Hi, friend. If you've never repaired before, that's okay. Just believe in yourself."
Yeah.
Lost it.
Just sent it through group chat and we're like, you know.
So, I pass that goodwill on to you for Saturday. Pen.
Just believe in yourself. Rowan believes in you, don't you, Rowan? You believe in everyone. You believe in the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of soup. Although it was summer, so I was also supplementing that with Jell-O and pudding and stuff.
Where are you going, son? You were beyond good void, kitty. Where are you going?
Oh, hey, that's awesome, 7. Free is my very favorite price. Always. I am a poor, and free is my favorite price. It's how they got me to be social in college. Like, oh, such and such group is having an event and they're having free food? Okay, well, I can at least check them out and see what they're about.
I was going to say, was it like luring a feral animal? Like, come
Yes!
on, come on, Tris, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And you're just like...
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of that way now. Not much has changed. I am a trash panda. Well, no, I'm closer to a possum, but
I mean,
I'm one of the forbidden trash cats.
you saw the thing that I posted with the raccoon in the vending machine.
Yes.
There was I posted it earlier. Oh, you're leaving. Okay. Well, I thought he was going to. It was like a self-serve convenience store, like register, but a raccoon had opened up a panel underneath it and was
like inside
it, and was just like reaching forward where like the impulse buys were and like grabbing Twizzlers and just kind of pull it like. No, I'm sorry. These are past expiration date. I'm gonna take these.
Yeah, that would be me.
I'm not big on Twizzlers.
I'm not either. There was better candy right along there that he could have grabbed.
Yeah.
But I mean, Twizzlers are close, and I don't know how much I trust the palate of a raccoon.
I mean,
somebody's got to eat them. Keep Twizzler in business. Twizzler, if you're running an ad right now, they're great.
Like, it's one of those, you know. I don't like licorice, and I know Twizzlers aren't licorice.
You also don't like chewy stuff.
I don't like chewy stuff. I don't like gummy stuff. Some chewy stuff I like Starburst and now later. So
yeah.
like,
okay.
But just for some reason in my mind, Twizzlers are licorice. I know that's not accurate, but I just cannot get that disconnect.
Yeah.
Come back.
I will eat black licorice like once every 4 or 5 years, and it'll taste good that one time, and then I'm good. I'm good for another half decade. We're solid. Usually that ends up happening in the form of a jelly bean, but I'm actually going on 6 years now, so I'm kind of overdue.
Twizzler is the devil's rope, like chewing wax. They taste like wax and food coloring. I mean, I can't say when the last time I had one was.
No, what tastes like wax and food coloring are those wax lips. And I love those.
Or the little bottle, the wax bottles.
Nickel nips.
And you gotta bite the top off.
Yep.
And
it was very funny because we were talking about those. Apparently, my roommate at the time hadn't seen them in a long while, and I was like, "Oh no, like here!" And
yeah.
He kept accidentally flipping it around like Nate Dutt bars, and it was nipple nicks. It was very funny.
Also candy. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of candy corn.
Yeah, no.
I used to like the candy corn pumpkins, but they changed them at some point, and it just became way too much.
Yeah, I'm just kind of not about it. I have plenty of friends who are, so more for them. Good for you.
I mean,
I have one friend who likes circus peanuts, and
I told you about the time that
Bless
Luth got a giant thing of Swedish fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it became a giant Swedish fish in the back of the car.
Mm-hmm. I know, but the flavor for those first 2 seconds is really awesome, and then it's gone.
I miss tearjerkers. They've got crybabies, but they're not as sour. But tearjerkers were great.
I love tearjerkers.
But I really think this October we are going to do what Dan and Aaron did and do a ranking of Halloween candies.
I'm about this. Let's do it. Yeah, we could even do it for Easter, too. Easter candies.
Oh, God, Easter candy. I mean, any Easter candy that is not Cadbury eggs is just wrong.
And Cadbury eggs are just wrong. So I have my own preferences. Thank you.
I have a giant box of Cadbury eggs in the freezer.
He does.
And I just will thaw some out, a couple of times a year, just so that I can enjoy their deliciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. I forgot he counterattacks when his tail's up. I shouldn't have done that.
Yes. I especially like the whole the big Palmer chocolate rabbit that I could break pieces off of and then just get peanut butter and just it's like Fun Dip but with chocolate and peanut butter.
I'm actually kind of surprised. So, like, they've done things like that with, like, Dunkaroos. Do you remember Dunkaroo?
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm sitting here going, why is this not still a thing? Why do they not make these as common as they do? They had the real Cadbury alongside the real clothes cream and other aspects of power.
But I also used to get like lemon heads and stuff like that in the Easter basket. So like we always had a pretty wide array of candies.
I mean, Kulik's got me a box full of the various heads. Lemon head, apple head.
I've been tempted to steal one, but I haven't.
Oh,
because I'm...
Feel free. There's more than enough that I'm ever going to be able to eat. Like, there's so much there. Because they gave it to me last Christmas, and I ate so much of it. Because I'm like, I had never had, because it's got lemon heads, cherry heads, apple heads, and grape heads. And I love apple heads, and they're really not common around here. I don't like lemon heads, because I don't like fake lemon flavor. But I had never had cherry or grape. And so I'm like, let's just try it. And so I started eating boxes of them. And they're just tiny boxes, but there's enough in there. My tongue was just destroyed. You know how it is when you eat too much either sour or sugary, like your tongue just...
Like if you sit down and you eat an entire bag of sour Skittles without like really washing it down or anything, it just... Yeah. Not that I have any experience with that.
Not that.
Like sour things.
Same.
But yeah, no, I've actually blown through like the movie theater size box of lemon heads like in a sitting.
I mean,
I'm dedicated to the cause.
Alright, you don't need to do your victory pose. It's just time to get out. There's a bomb.
Oh, nice. Well, I hope they're tasty and delicious. Yeah. No, I'm about the candy ranking.
Yeah, I'm all up for this. Let's rank some candy.
Okay, that's tomato fiber. Thank you. Oh, that sounds delicious. Raspberry jam log cookies. Sounds very... You don't like raspberry.
I was about to say, jam log sounds terrifying.
No, that sounds delicious. I've still got an abundance of cookies. And it's about time for me to start getting rid of them. They're starting to...
We made too many cookies, as we often do.
Well,
it was everyone at Cookie Day, because like everyone at
Cookie Day, yes. But I'm talking about like the holiday week.
Oh yeah, you
that was just me.
You made an excess of cookies after Cookie Day as well.
But y'all, I finally made some sweet potato cookies, and those are going into regular rotation because they ended up all pillowy and soft like the pumpkin cookies. Definitely gonna keep that around.
Ooh, no. Anything that's got coconut's just a no for me.
I'm ambivalent on coconut. Like, it's sometimes I feel like a nut, and sometimes I don't. It's
I always thought that was a euphemism. I thought their marketing
actually,
was
it's about the almonds, not the coconut.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
still, sometimes you feel like a coconut, sometimes you don't. I don't like the texture of like the dried shredded coconut like that, and
Yeah.
that was the experience I had most of the time with it, and so that kind of put me off. But like, some coconut flavoring, I'm kind of down with, as long as it's not like bananas.
Yeah.
And actually, as long as it's not bananas, I don't love bananas.
You just shoot me with a laser?
It's a laser.
I've got a gun for a hand.
What's up?
Hey, Rowan, you don't have a gun for a hand.
Oh, you have itchy ears, what you have. I do too, because I did a saltwater tank float thing yesterday, which was everything I needed it to be, and it helped with my back so much. It made physical therapy a lot easier today. But also, this ear is full of water, and yawning is uncomfortable. So, here's hoping that doesn't turn into an ear infection. That it drains out before it gets horrid.
Oh, the ear is so itchy. Are you gonna do the thing? If I do it on this side, are you gonna do the thing so that the internet can see?
He's just sliding across the table. God, I wish you guys could see that face. That's hilarious.
Turn around. We're gonna show the internet. Hey, look. Oh, look at that face. Those itchy ears. Like, what are you doing, Father? You're such a good boy.
Yeah, my issue growing up was always strep throat. But I also have chronic sinusitis, which will sometimes flood into my ear, and I'll go bad. But like, my whole family has ear problems like that, and it is just I've been lucky so far that it that it hasn't been a huge issue.
You are more entertaining tonight than the video game. You know that? He is just so lovey. Hi. Yes. Ow! That was my chin?
Hello, Father. I will eat your face.
Hi. Do you need to eat my face? You had dinner. You should not be that hungry.
It was interesting. So, there was a person doing their internship today at physical therapy, and she's shadowing my physical therapist. And as they were talking through stuff, like, she's like, okay, well, I haven't done this and whatever, so we're gonna, test a few of these things, your muscle strength in these areas, whatever. Like, okay, that's fine. So I went through the battery. It was mostly focused around my knees because my knees have been giving me a lot of problems lately. And apparently, whatever, I can't remember what exactly it was that was like, oh, but it was something my physical therapist and I had not covered before. But it turns out part of the reason I have trouble with my knees is because of the giant fucking tendon that runs from your hip down to your knee. Who knew? That could be giving me problems. So we at least have some new stuff to like work on. But I was talking about how sometimes like when I'm having a flare, I get really touch sensitive, like the allodynia, and it'll happen sometimes right along where that band is. So that was an interesting discovery today. It's kind of apropos of nothing. I just found it fascinating.
I switched the scene because he's far more invested in this tonight than he usually is.
We need to start miking him.
So that everyone can hear the purrs. You're trying to chew on me and I don't understand why.
It's love bites, Dad.
Oh.
You don't want this.
He got real interested when you opened it, though.
Sorry. Excuse me while I lick my drinkware.
Oh, they can't see my face. I'm sitting here licking seductively and they can't see.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah, that's how we run the show here on Maraudery X.
Trying to make fun of me and it's just blue screen. That's what you get. No, if it dribbles, I'm going to clean it up. And that is the most efficient way to do so. Hey. Ladies.
Uh-oh, I'm being chased by the popo. Now, while canonically Cloud could kill them all,
I'm just saying, fucking cops. Like,
okay, and they're not even cops. They're a private militia owned by a power company.
Okay, Black Runner.
Like,
hey, I'm really good at making shit super text. Subtle, me.
Did Libet send you the Lucas Arnold TikTok about the Halloween the Halloween costume he wanted to do? But
yes,
it's like it was like a BDSM collar and a shirt that said text. I'm subtext.
which I would absolutely do. I think it's a brilliant costume. Of course, I am also the person who went as a Freudian slip. So fucking Pinkertons, man. Just
So
fuckers need to get gone.
I watched a movie recently. I've watched it before. You caught part of The Majestic. It's one of the few Jim Carrey serious movies. It's not like his normal slapstick comedy. He's a Hollywood writer during the McCarthy era and gets named as a communist. Ends up getting into a car accident, has amnesia, and finds himself in this town that lost like all of the kids from that town to World War II. And they think he's one of them that's finally come back. And he doesn't remember anything, so he can't. But the whole reason why they named him as a communist is because he was working on a project about the West Virginia coal rebellions. And he was named because that sounds like communist propaganda, power to the workers. And I'm sitting here going, my God, they actually did think that.
Mm-hmm. They still do.
McCarthy, like...
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I just...
Workers of the world unite.
Now, like, we also watched Chernobyl.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I get that the pendulum can swing real far in one way or the other, because, like, one of the bits from Chernobyl was a scientist who I don't think was actually a person. I think she was the female scientist who was an amalgam of, like, several other scientists raising alarms. But she went to one of the nuclear safety commissions, and the guy's like, before the revolution, I used to work in a shoe factory. I'm like, oh, right, yeah, the Russians kind of took it way in the wrong direction.
Well, because it wasn't actually, like, communism at that point. It was...
Yeah.
It was, we're a superpower, and we're going to maintain that at any cost.
Yeah. But I'm like, there really needs to be, like...
I am not surprised by that at all.
I still can't believe Jim Carrey got... I mean, I can. It's FBI apparently trying to get some more life.
That does not surprise me in the least. I also appreciate that it totally bombed when it initially came out, and the only reason it's popular is because stations needed something to show, and its rights had expired, so it was public domain. Just saying, public domain is pretty rad sometimes.
Unless you get serial killer Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I mean...
That shit is not okay.
That sure is something.
Someone needed therapy and they didn't get it.
I mean, that is the vast majority of the American public.
I mean, that's the vast majority of the public.
Yes.
Yeah, sad banana, folks. I just, so much weirdness, so much.
It's funny. The Workers song actually came on while I was...
VII, you put that out into the universe, and I hate you for it so much right now.
The Workers song came on while I was in the float tank yesterday, and so I'm in there jamming. Well, it was Dropkick Murphy's version, so I'm in there jamming out and singing along to a pro-union song in the middle of this sensory deprivation situation. I'm sure if anybody was walking by, they were amused. You know, there are worse things to put out in the universe.
No, there's not.
Yeah, yes,
no,
there is.
Well, okay, yes, there are, but in this instance, this is up there. Because I've watched a lot of different Sherlock media recently. I went back and rewatched the BBC Sherlock. I watched Elementary. I watched the first Sherlock, Robert Downey Jr. movie. I watched the first Enola Holmes movie. I started the second one.
There's another one?
There's a second one, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, we'll watch it together. I tried watching it, and I couldn't get into it the first, like, I'm about 30, 35 minutes into it. I couldn't.
Huh.
It was,
Okay.
it just seemed way more hectic than the first.
Yeah.
And I just did not have the attention span for it that night. But yeah, and so, like, I've seen a lot of Sherlock, and now I'm just sitting here imagining various forms of that Sherlock with Winnie the Pooh, except Winnie the Pooh is a furry in this instance, in my...
Hey, Sherlock is all about experiential knowledge.
He is.
So it could be for a case.
Doyle State will work overtime to hide that. Rule 30, okay, Rule 34... The problem with Rule 34 is if you manage to not find something, like if you, like, I want to find Sherlock Winnie the Pooh, you know, either fan fiction or like smut images or whatever. The problem with Rule 34 is if you don't find it, you are then obligated to create it. And I'm just not okay with that. I don't need that responsibility. I don't need that evil placed on me, Ricky Bobby. Like, that is... when I die, I don't need to see whatever afterlife spirit that's going to be like, hey, let's look at your life. And I'm going to be like, no, let's not, because there's at least that one moment that I just...
So, okay, I was watching some clips of Reese Nicholson's stand-ups. And he has a bit where it's like, no one in this room would show anyone their search history because we all have had that, like, 10-second moment where we've searched something and immediately gone, oh my god, am I a pervert? And yes, you are never going to share your search history. And I was like, I'll share mine. I mean, I don't really care what people think of me anymore. So that's not true. I care very much. I just... I'm a chaos cop.
I mean, I will flat out say I'm a pervert. So, like, I feel real bad for the FBI agent who has to look through my search history, because it's got, like, mostly not even stuff that's like the intentional stuff is weird, but the unintentional stuff, like looking for artists for my card game. I now follow like 3 different artists for hire subreddits. And one of them, while it doesn't say specifically that it is a not safe for work, all of the posts on that are not safe for, like, hey, I do not safe for work commissions. And it's just titty, 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 titty everywhere. And so, like, I can't look at Reddit in the office. I can't look at Reddit on, like, I have to be very careful about it on my phone because, like, the thumbnails, one of the thumbnails that popped up earlier today was this person who, granted, I will say their art is amazing. I love their art. I might see if they could do some of the digital coloring for some of the pieces. But they had Morgan from Darkstalkers, who is a succubus. She's green hair, wings on her head, tits that are the size of watermelons. In actual like in the... Hers, or theirs, I guess, I think it was a female artist, was... Her already ridiculously scandalous outfit was underneath her breasts, and so her breasts are just magically floating because boobs don't do that. You don't have torpedo-shaped boobs that just stick out, unless they're fake.
Even then, gravity still happens.
Well, I mean, maybe,
so there's gonna like at least point down just a little bit.
Well, maybe they've got like a support beam,
the scaffolding built in underneath.
They've you know those L brackets that you attach shelves to the wall? They've just got it screwed into their ribs, just holding it up.
Oh, as someone who used to be like a G or H or whatever like that, ow. Fuck.
It's like, and I'm sitting here going, scroll fast.
Just go, bye, get away. Yeah, no.
Anti-grav memories.
Whoever is looking through my stuff, it's like gardening and design and slash on AO3. Like I don't care. There you go.
Like, well, so
you'll find out that I really enjoy Yaskir and Geralt slash. I do. It's awesome.
like I had a friend ask me today, what's the fetish of someone who likes to watch other people have sex? And I'm like, okay, you came to me for this instead of just Google searching it. And the response is, I didn't want that in my search history. Thank you.
It's okay. I am also that person for other people. Yeah. Yeah.
I knew it off. It's voyeurism. Just for those of you keeping score at home.
That's okay. I was in the middle of like a feminist theory class in grad school, and we're all sitting there, and like we're talking specifically about like the queering of feminist theory specifically around sex. And for some reason, I am the only person in the entire classroom who, like, somebody had asked a question, and I just offhand, just out of my mouth, was like, "Oh yeah, the nearest foot fetish club, like, it's in Nashville. It's just." I didn't say that. We're reining it back in. This is grad school. I'm gonna shut my mouth.
You weren't asking for directions. You were asking hypothetically. And...
My bad. I don't have a foot fetish. I don't know why I knew that. I just know it.
I know people with.
I mean, it's because I hang out with a lot of kinky people. But...
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there are a lot of fetishes. I don't get a lot of them, but it's not my place to get them. Like, if it's something that if it's, I'm not going to sit here. I mean, there are some that I'm like, let's not. But those become an issue where it falls under the it's not safe, it's not sane, or it's not consensual.
Yeah.
Like, as long as it hits those three things, I'm not going to say anything. But, like, I love it when, like, I'm talking to, relatively new people, and they're like, I'm so kinky, I've got such a weird fetish. I like doing it doggy style. I'm sitting here going, that's you sweet summer child. Have you not existed on the internet for the last 20 years?
Yeah.
It's what I do. I drink and I know things. So my dad...
I mean, it is.
my dad got a shirt for him, but he also got shirts for me and my brother that say that, except it's not I drink. Mine is I fix computers and I know things. And I'm like, sometimes. Sometimes I don't fix sometimes I break the computer more. The knowing things is always questionable. But
I drink and I know things.
The more you know, Star.
Right? I don't think anyone in that class looked at me the same the rest of the semester. And I wasn't even, like, taking the class. I was auditing it. So I'm just piping up really for no reason.
Well, okay, so while I was at work, and this was last year before, it was longer than that because it was before the office closed. And I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she made an offhand comment about OnlyFans. And I'm like, oh, I know someone who does that. And she was like, excuse me, what? I'm like, yeah, there's a girl I went to high school with. She does professional, sex work. And it's, it's very niche. And she's like, what do you mean niche? It's like, well, she does non-nude financial domination. And she's sitting here going, that's a thing that I can get into? I don't have to take my top off. I can just belittle people into giving me money and they'll do it. I'm like, well, she does. And she's like, how successful is she? Like, I don't know. She just bought a second apartment in New York, so I'm guessing pretty successful. Like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The thought has crossed my mind, but I also know I am not what people are looking for that. But if I set up an OnlyFans, it would be like I would either read feminist theory at you, or with the writer's approval, I would read Slash. Just read it. Just, you know.
I mean,
And try to keep a straight face.
I will say one thing I've learned from just knowing as many people who do OnlyFans and things like, there's a niche for everyone. Like the whole concept of I'm not the person who people are looking for seems to be really out the window now. It's just you have to find the niche. You've got to find the thing. Like,
I'm too much of a generalist.
That may be true. Like that. Like
that's just me though.
Your niche is not having a niche and being able to cater to so many things. Like that could be a thing. Spike Vanguard, that could be your name. That could anyway. Sorry, I had a conversation with a friend of mine in high school. We were hanging out in a teacher's room for lunch because there was one teacher that we all liked, and he didn't care what we did as long as we didn't get in trouble or get him in trouble. And it was me and Amber, and we'd started dating at that point, and it was mostly her friends and students of this teacher. This teacher I never had as a teacher. He was my homeroom teacher. And we were hanging out during lunch, and they were doing the "What's your porn star name?" And it's the name of your first pet and name of the street you lived on. And mine was Spike Vanguard. And one of them, someone we called Dave, her name was not Dave. I don't know how she got the name Dave, but we called her Dave. Dave just like slams her hands down and like, that sounds so like you could be a Viking porn. That could be your thing. That could be what you do. And I'm just sitting here going, you are getting way too excited for this.
I'm trying to think. Well, the last time I saw something like that go around, it was like the first street you grew up on or that you remember living on. And first one I remember, I can tell you all this because I never use it as a password, which I feel like is what a lot of those things are geared to.
Oh, yeah.
But it's Talio Kill Road. Like, that's... I can't use that.
You can't use it. And yeah, no, I never use, like, pet name or street names.
Absolutely not.
So, like...
But the next one after that was Bailey. So, and my first pet's name was Spunky. So it's Spunky Bailey.
Spunky. Was it named after... Was it named after the dog from Rocko's Modern Life?
No, it was well before Rocko's Modern
Life.
Like, we got Spunky when I was like 3. She was named that because she was the only one of the litter that survived, and she was like the runt, but she just kept on trunking because she was spunky. I did really appreciate that Rocco's dog was named Spunky, though. That made me happy, but...
But yeah, there are a lot of people who are like, yeah, don't ever... Like, I will say the street, because, like, a lot of that's really easy information to find. I had an ex that would refuse to use her real name if you were talking on AIM. If you said her real name, she got mad, because she's like, someone will find it. And it's like, if someone wants to find you, especially nowadays, anyone who has a smartphone, just, you know.
Red and white head. Nice. I like it. Spunky Bailey.
I mean, it's intended to look at it as a lot of sexual behavior, like duck face with a child. Like, I mean, I've one of the people that I know that does OnlyFans is asexual. And I think that's part of the reason why they're so good at it. Because they can look at it from, like, either, like, an academic or clinical, like, they can do all because they don't do like, oh, strip shows or anything. Like they do like custom content. And so like people ask them, like, I want you to do a video where you say my name and say dad. It's like, she's sure I can do it, but I think it's more that she can chronicle the experience and just be like, people find this attractive, people find this sexual, and just
like, I don't get it, but it's making me money.
It's like the girl from Mallrats who did the book.
Yeah.
That's, and like, but because she's not sexual, like just being on the asexual spectrum, she's just like, she's not judgmental about it. It doesn't, like, because a lot of things, some people are like, oh yeah, you get a little skewed if it's a kink you have as well. And so, like, you can skew that you're a little more enthusiastic about it, but, like, she can kind of bring, like, the same level of energy across everything. So, like, one of these days, I'm expecting a scientific paper to come out with either her name or a pseudonym.
I would love to write that paper. I would thoroughly enjoy to write the paper. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sex work is work, just period. Like,
yeah.
And I respect anybody who can maintain that. And I appreciate when I can, because I also have a friend. She's not on OnlyFans. She's on another site. But is also, I think she's gray ace. But like and we've sat down and we talked about it and whatever. And I don't know. It's an interesting perspective, and it definitely goes to show that, like, yes, it is work. It is a job.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, I mean, the people who do that, like, because I sit here and I'm going to say YouTube is OnlyFans adjacent, quite honestly. Like, we don't have the sex aspect, but we have the same requirement of self-promotion and entertainment value. Like,
yeah.
YouTube, you've got to be entertaining. Like, because honestly, I started YouTube well before certain YouTubers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, the Game Grumps.
Yeah.
Like, I started before them. And look how they have exploded in popularity, and I'm still not super popular. I mean, I don't do a lot of the self-promotion that I really should, but a part of it is just, part of it's finding something that the site can promote, and that works just the same on OnlyFans, which means you've got to be constantly putting out content.
Yep.
You can't miss content because then you dip in the algorithm, and I would bet dollars to donuts, OnlyFans has an algorithm as well for who they promote. Sure. But, like, the whole concept, like, there's a webcomic I read, and they talk about how, like, the comic that just went up today, it's like, I hope you're not selling your body to get all these perks. It's like, you sweet summer child, everyone sells their body for one thing. Like, every form of work is you selling yourself for something. Like, I'm giving up my time to do work for another company, and they pay me for it.
Well, they pay you in some imaginary concept that everyone has to agree upon. And lately, the agreement hasn't been so great because inflation.
Yeah.
And it's you're selling your time and your labor for a promise is what you're doing.
Yeah. And, like, I grew up in coal country. So, like, the concept of people saying, oh, you're selling your body. It's like, no, those people are selling their bodies. Like,
yeah.
Like, the number of people that I knew who had black lung or, COPD or emphysema at the least because they worked. And
that's not to mention, like, just straight up injuries.
Yeah.
Like, it's dangerous.
And that's, some of these people never even set foot in a mine. It was just they were mine adjacent.
Yep.
or they worked in, related field, like they were the ones that loaded the coal into the trains to transport them elsewhere.
You were running the railroad. Yeah.
And so, like, I'm sitting here going, it's like, someone who gets paid to have sex for money versus someone who has to crawl in a tight, smoky, dusty hole in the ground to mine a rock that someone else is gonna burn. Which one of these seems more like you are selling? Like,
I mean, no, I see that.
Like,
no, they're both. Like,
it's like,
I don't really, I can't.
Well, I'm not saying that one is more, but like the fact that some people are
discounted as
yeah. Like, I'm sitting here going, like, you're gonna say that this person is, of low moral character because she or he sleeps with someone for money. But this person who puts their life on the line isn't. But, like, you're sitting here saying that both of these are not selling yourself. Because, like, the person who crawls in the mine to get the burnable rock, which is a statement, if you say it out loud, sounds insane. Like, I crawl underground to get a rock that can be burned for heat. At the risk of, suffocating on my own fluids later on in life, or just getting crushed in a cave-in, is not selling your body. Like,
yeah.
Or, like, as much as I kind of hate it, because I really hate how we've elevated sports into a profession where these athletes are getting paid millions upon millions of dollars to sustain injuries.
Yeah.
Football specifically is just.
I feel like such a horrible person for loving the game as much as I do.
Well, it's like the game itself it's one of those, like, yeah, this is interesting, this is great. The mechanics of it, it plays for, but like we have elevated it into a gladiatorial sport. Like the fact that, if you look at football players from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s versus football players today, like football players today have a good 100 pounds of pure muscle on any of them.
Like, don't get me started on higher education. I have feelings. Yes, it is difficult to make change for a chicken, but I just conceptually speaking, like this is what we're doing, and it is a system we've all agreed to.
We can break change for a chicken. You get 2 thighs and a nugget.
Or more accurately, it's the system that we are inculcated into, whether or not we really agree with it. So that's just the thing. And yes, a lot of it does stem from ownership, or the aspiration for ownership. It also stems from who is an owner and who isn't, and a lot of the shaming of sex work, specifically geared toward women who historically have not even been allowed to own their own bodies. So that's a thing. Yes, Daryl Hamlin, wow. Yeah, I love the strategy behind football. I love, like, the complex decision making. There are so many moving parts on that field all the time. But I really don't want people, especially black men whose lives are already written off in so many contexts, to be risking such permanent injury, or injury at all, but especially really permanent injury, or even death, just for sport. That's not cool. Yeah, okay, sorry. I saw things coming up, and I was like, I need words. I need to say words. I need to acknowledge, and yeah. All right.
It's
shut my mouth.
also no secret that we are super liberal on this channel when it comes to, you know, A, speaking our minds, and B, being super liberal. Like,
I mean, I actually just, I'm not liberal. I'm not a liberal.
well, yeah.
I'm straight up a leftist. We won't get into the more specific categories I guess I fit into, but like at this point, liberals are just a joke.
I mean, our entire political process is a joke. But, like, I call myself a Huguenot, which is just, you know, I'm not an anarchist. Huguenot means nothing. I just say that to confuse people. But, like, I am a firm believer that, you know, we had some good ideas for democracy and you know, and we kind of took it out back and shot it, and now we're defiling its dead corpse for generations. Rowan, get over here.
You're not supposed to be back. gotta say, I see a lot of
Come here. Come on.
value in some anarcho-communism, but by its very nature, that makes things hard to change because there are no specific governing principles, ongoing ones. So, aside from
Huguenots were French
Fucking
Protestants.
shit out.
Were they? I have no idea. I took that from a Family Guy skit. It's like, Peter Griffin, self-proclaimed Huguenot. Like, okay. I learned something today. But no, like, I fully believe, like, you know, United States democracy has so much potential. The problem is we've got a whole bunch of idiots.
no, the problem is we have a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of greed. That's ultimately that is the problem.
We also have a whole bunch of idiots. I really don't think anyone should be able to pass or make laws about something that they have no knowledge about.
Or, more accurately, that they either don't have knowledge about on their own, or they're not willing to listen to people who do.
Yeah. Like, I lost all faith in our government when there was, I forget who, it's a clip that floats around out there. A guy is sitting here at a hearing. He's talking about how we have to stop wind farms. Because, you know, wind farms harvest the wind, which causes the earth to turn slower, which makes it hotter. Wind farms are the real cause of global warming. And then backtracking and said global warming was a hoax. And I'm sitting here going, everything you said makes me irrationally angry.
You're not wrong there, Seven.
Cultivated idiots.
No, I lost faith in our government when I was old enough to understand even the basic whatever of what I was seeing on the news. That I've just, and it's weird because I have a very strong sense of like civic duty, and like I vote for all of the not good that does. I vote in every election that I can. I just did the whole like working for the Board of Elections thing. I volunteer as a vote protector and all of the stuff, but like it all feels like stopgap, you know?
Also, I find it amazing that we're having this conversation in a game that's basic premise is to the main heroes are eco-terrorists dealing with a corrupt worldwide organization that is destroying the planet for profit. And every time I think of the people who scream, "Get your politics out of my games," I'm like, if you're one of the motherfuckers who started playing RPGs when Final Fantasy VII came out, I'm gonna beat you to death with a box set of the games. Just, I swear to God.
I can't. I can't with people. Like, literally everything is political. All of the things
Yeah,
are
we're
political.
going heavy tonight. Yeah, we're just,
Like, I'm sorry. Who you fuck is political. Who you vote for is political. What brands you buy is political. Like, where you live is political. Like,
Yeah, I haven't even related like half the conversations we've had tonight to the game itself, as I just blew up a power station sub-reactor as the main plot point for you. Well, it's like so many people were like I've seen a lot of conversations about like especially after Gamergate, we need to stop politicizing games. We need like games are art. I was like, okay, those two sentences cannot coexist. You cannot say games cannot be political because games are art, because art is going to be political.
Yep.
In some way, shape, or form. And so, like...
Yep. Two people
interacting in any way is politics.
It is. It is. If there's any... And I mean any power dynamic involved, and that even includes, like, exact equals, which never fucking happens, but, like, the second you have any kind of power dynamic, like, it's political. Shit, I probably political, like, in my own head, like, argue that the interactions between the different factions in my head is political.
I would be willing to bet that Rowan's political. You're probably leading some sort of political party in another country that I don't know about. Either that or you're leading a coup.
I mean, they seem to be so popular these days. Oh, Brazil. I hate... I hate Bolsonaro, but, like... And yeah. He's not cool. And then this whole attacking all of their government buildings, like, that was really scary.
What you doing, son?
Yep.
Did you want to join in the political discourse? What tell me. What?
They do like him young. They do. Just grooming of another sort.
And now I'm fucking with my thing, and I apologize for it, but Rowan wanted to chime in.
Access. Hi, buddy.
Oop. I didn't know you were here.
Hi.
Hey, son. Come say hi. Come on. Say hi to the internet. You were so whiny earlier. I'm kind of surprised you weren't hanging out in here with us before now.
He wanted me to come downstairs so that he could lay in front of the heater, but have people there.
Yeah, he has to have people, or like he needs a person. Otherwise he gets grumpy. Even though he doesn't want people around.
I love you, you little shit. Hey, no scratching. No scratching. He's my little butthead buddy. So yeah, how's weather's been real interesting lately.
I'm buying a car. Like it's.
I'm gonna re-dye my hair again soon. I think I'm gonna stick with the red for a while. I've missed it. I used to dye my hair red all the time, like from high school through college. And while I really like the bright neon colors and stuff, sometimes I just natural, but not my natural hair color.
I mean, I need
It's natural.
I need to cut my hair, and I'm thinking about dyeing another streak in it. I don't know.
Let me know. I have plenty of bleach. All the bleach. So much bleach.
Speaking of Bleach, I'm watching Bleach again.
Yes, you are. I always thought I looked good as a redhead. It's something with the whole green eyes and my whole woo, I'm Irish. Kind of bullshit. I just always like being red. Yeah, California is just.
California's fucked right now.
I am very worried about a lot of people. So many people. Yeah, so some of my gray has, it took until, God, I guess, I didn't get my first gray hair until about 4 years ago. But then it was, just one or two. And then, I guess 2 years ago, it started coming in a bit more. But I have, this kind of weird blonde patch with some gray mixed in. So, I can cut it the exact same length as, this side of my head. But this always looks like I just, gouged down to my skull. Because it's so pale. So that's fun and interesting. But I always wanted to go gray. I was upset that it took me that long to go gray because my mom's whole family went gray early. My aunt got her first gray hair when she was 15. But yeah, it took me a hot minute.
I mean, I've got a lot of gray, mostly in my face.
In your face. Yeah. I did have one stray gray eyebrow hair, but it fell out eventually, like all of them do. Never came back. It'll do that. I can tell you for sure. I ended up with a lot more gray hair during and after last year. I can confirm.
Make sure to keep everything on your top.
Oh wow!
Also, isn't today
7?
your birthday? If so, you're old. Just saying. I knew someone who was going bald at high school, and felt kind of bad for him.
Yeah, my uncle had I met him for the first time when he was 18, I think, and his hairline was already back here. He's an asshole. I mean, anyone who isn't my great aunt and my mom, my mom's cousin and my sister,
Oh, it did. My mic went off.
Access.
I don't know why.
What'd you get?
Maybe it got. Anyway, I was saying. Oh yeah, it's because the battery's about dead. So, that's not good. I don't think it fully charged after the last time. So,
Hey, buddy.
let me do this.
What are you talking about? Are you gonna do a thing?
We've only got a few minutes left, but.
Which is good because I have on my phone 6% battery, and I won't be able to go on long ranting spiels when I see a couple of comments come up, and I feel the need to
Well, I just wanted to make sure
have an
that, you know,
opinion.
in case anyone missed it, I think it's Eridon's birthday, and so therefore Eridon is old. So if you did not catch that, Eridon, you're old. Happy birthday, you old timer.
Happy birthday.
I am such a dick. Ah.
You didn't say that to me.
What, that you're old?
Not on my birthday.
I say that you are the youngest old person I know, like, daily.
Yeah, but not on my birthday.
Oh, well. I mean, the only reason why I remembered it is because Facebook reminded me it's his birthday. You're a towel.
I am the youngest old person, you know.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how much joy the idea of sitting on a rocking chair on a front porch, sipping a beverage as the sun's going down, how much that appeals to me. Like, that just the idea of it brings me so much joy. Because I am an old. Well, I'm a southern country old.
Pandemic only exacerbated, but plus prior to my stylist left me high and dry after little decades. I never really had a stylist. I never really got my hair cut often. Like, Libet would trim dead ends for the longest time as I was growing it out. And then I kind of want it a little bit shorter, so it's, you know, mostly because, at least for a while, I was crawling under desks regularly, so I just needed it out of my face.
Yeah.
Gotta save it. Where are you going, son? Well, he outright left.
No, I'm just growing out mine just enough to, like, I could actually, like, call it officially, like, a quiff.
Quiff.
It's a quiff.
Not a queef.
No. Not on my head.
Very different thing.
Yeah,
you have a Facebook. You never post anything to it. Oh, I should send you. I've been doing character art for the card game based off the tabletop game that we ran. And I have a copy of your character. So, yeah. Yeah, Libet's basically been my stylist for the last, 10 years, give or take. And, like, before that, I never really had, I don't even think growing up I had anyone that was like a dedicated stylist who just went wherever could go at the time. So. Bald spots are 100% worse than bald.
No, I haven't. I've had my hair, like, cut once since I quit my job. And even then, I hadn't gone to her in a while because my income situation changed drastically. So I think, except for one time, I've been cutting my hair consistently for the last 4 years now. I'm not great, but, I have seen worse things on my head.
But not a queef.
No. I just managed to end up looking like my grandmother, and that was awful. As a 10-year-old to look like your grandmother.
Hi. You are so not happy with me right now. Booby. You could be the
Fussy
boy. Hi. And you're like, nope, I'm going to stand where I am not supposed to stand.
A squash spider. That's fantastic. I love it.
I mean, that's the thing. Like hair loss, like you have very little control over it. You can try like the Rogaine, minoxidil type stuff to try to prevent, but like
I'm not just the president. I'm a
also
client. Yeah.
good boy. But yeah, like if I lose my hair, I lose my hair. I'm not exactly super vain about my looks, mostly because 9 days out of 10, I look like a damn hobo.
A vagrant or a hobo? This details matter.
I've got Jess watching the Reacher show on Amazon, and yeah. It just ends up being a lot to shave in between the face and the head. I mean, I look like a Wookiee from like the neck down. So like, if I'm okay, I will be a little pissed off if I start going bald because of the rest.
Just distribution fail.
Yeah. It's like at that point I'm gonna be like, can I just laser hair removal everything?
Oh man, the number of times I have thought about doing that just so like I wouldn't have to like shave my armpits or anything anymore. Just like
One thing I love is
I mean, I don't have to shave them. I just feel more comfortable shaving.
there's a Family Guy skit about, they're making cracks about someone's hair, and it's like, well, what do oh, Wooly, you're fine. And it's the old toy with the face with the like magnetic powder that you could.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here going, if only
Wooly
hair
Willy.
actually, Wooly. It's like if only hair actually worked. Like
Honestly, like oh man, that could create so much like gender euphoria.
You're making a very good case why you should. Okay, Amber really wants me to cosplay as Aizawa. I've got a Principal Nezu that she's like, you could just walk around with him and your scarf all day.
I really do just identify with Aizawa on a soul level.
Libet hasn't even
Get it.
seen My Hero, and I found the picture, the promo art of them skateboarding. It's like, because someone took that as a meme. It was like, when you want to hang out with friends on vacation, but you want to sleep. It's Aizawa in his sleeping bag on a sled, just going down a mountain while everyone else is like skiing and snowboarding down.
Yeah, I've increasingly moved towards Aizawa over the years. It used to be like my FOMO would keep me up, but I just don't have nearly as much FOMO anymore.
He does look like a bum a lot of the time. Aizawa's very tired, very grumpy, and that kind of fits me as an adult now. Like those memes of like, oh, identify with SpongeBob, yay, fun friends. No, I identify with Squidward. Get the fuck off my lawn.
I mean, or there's me. You can be both. I'm definitely both.
Rowan, you don't need to be on my desk. All right, so it's about time to end. Like I said, I will not be doing a stream next week because I'm going to be driving a lot, so I'm not going to have the energy to do that at the end of the day. I'm hopefully going to be back before this time in the evening, but I don't want to say that because I'm going to jinx it. So I'm just going to go ahead and say no stream next week, but we will be back the week after, Wednesdays, 7:30 Eastern, Hat Time, Hat Channel. No idea what I'm going to live stream ahead of time. If there's something you want to see, go ahead and post about it in the Discord. We have a Discord. It's in the video description.
Come, join us. I now that I've kind of settled all of my prior projects, I can interact more. So come talk to me.
I'm thinking about just posting the random shit that I find. So
do it.
That's going to be a thing. And I've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. I've got the last 2 episodes. If I can remember to upload them tomorrow and Friday, I'm going to do that. If not, they will be up Monday and Tuesday next week. And then I've started recording Indivisible. I'm hopefully going to be recording more of that Friday, so I can get a nice big buffer of stuff, and we'll be able to upload that. But yeah, So, in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Stay safe.
I have 3 pieces going up this month. I don't know the dates for sure, but or off the top of my head anyway. But I can post them on Discord. And also, yes, I still have Twitter, but that's mostly to follow NASA. So don't. You're not gonna hear from me if you try to contact me over Twitter. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, and I don't know what the deal is. My Twitter does not show me notifications or private messages.
Weird.
Like, if I am having, like, I have to close the app completely. Like, I gotta bring it up to my phone, like, swipe the app to close it, and then the next the next message I get will send a notification, but will not send anything subsequent after that. So if someone sends me like 3 messages in a row, it's just gonna show me 1 message, the first one.
Weird.
And then if I open it and respond to it, it's not gonna show me anything after that unless I close it again. So, fuck Twitter.
For so many reasons, yes. Sir.
That is a mouse. Just because it is named a mouse does not mean it is for you.
It's like, but there's a tail.
Meow.
But yeah, no. Come join us on Discord. Just talk about random shit with us, because that's kind of just what we do anyway.
Yeah. So, and yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Take care of yourselves.
Wash your hands,
Wear
get
a
vaxxed,
mask.
wear a mask.
Don't eat babies. Just saying.
I mean,
just
okay.
saying.
I guess it's a generally.
Unless it's a modest proposal type situation.
No, just yeah. Just take care of yourselves. Be safe.
And we will see you a week after next. So.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.